Welcome to Fan for Racing Radio. I'm Fan for Racing Sharon, and joining me is Jay Huseman. Welcome to the show, Jay.
I'm excited because we got the first race for the ARCA West. You know, we always, as the season kicks off, we got to wait a little bit for the West Series, and it's finally here.
Yes, indeed, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this entire season. 22 cars on the entry list, and we'll highlight some of those drivers as we give you our notes. So let's go ahead and get started with that. The race is the Oil Workers 150 presented by the West Coast Stock Car Motorsports Hall of Fame. The place is Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway on Saturday, February the 28th, and the time, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 o'clock Pacific Time, and if you're in the central area like we are, it's going to be 7 o'clock Central. So it will be televised live on Flow Racing this week. So definitely looking forward to this race.
It is, and we got a lot of history here as the ARCA Menards Series West opens its 73rd with the first of two 2026 races at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway. The Oil Workers 150, presented by West Coast Stock Car Motorsports Hall of Fame, will be the 18th series race at the track and the 1,041st overall in series history. Now, the series will also close its 2026 season at the track, the first time the finale has been held there since 2018. So a lot of returning. We'll talk about that when we get to drivers.
And one of the returning drivers this week is the last year's champion, Trevor Huddleston, driving that number 50 High Point Racing Race Car Factory Ford. He returns to the ARCA Menards Series West to defend that 2025 championship. He won both races at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway, a track managed by his father, Tim, and he won both of those races just last year.
So, yeah, returning champion, returning race winner, man, there's your odds on, right? Now, here's a big one. Three-time series winner Hailie Deegan, being the number 16 Napa Auto Care Chevrolet, returns to the series full-time. I really thought this was a part-time, but apparently it's full-time, reuniting with Bill McAnally Racing for a run at the series championship. Deegan, who became the series' first ever female winner in 2018, will be joined on the BMR squad by Mason Massey in the number 19 Brunt Boots Mongoose Power Solutions Chevrolet. Both will compete for the series title in 2026. So, yeah, I didn't realize that. I didn't know it was full-time.
Well, there's a lot of comebacks there because Bill McAnally Racing did not race last year. And so they are coming back to the ARCA West as well. So reigning Bounty Rookie of the Year, Robbie Keneally, driving the number 1 Jan's Towing Ford, also returns to chase the series championship. Keneally, who won last year at All-American Speedway, recently raced in the General Tire 200 at Daytona International Speedway with a 15th place finish in his Jan Qualkenbush-owned Ford. Keneally will be joined by 15-year-old newcomer Cole Denton in the number 71 Jan's Towing Ford, and who will compete for this year's Bounty Rookie crown. Now, we do have an interview with Robbie Keneally after he raced in that General Tire 200 at Daytona. He talks about being the only West driver to race at Daytona and what he had to do to get there. So it's a pretty interesting interview.
It is, and we also have the ones from last year where we had several of the drivers and team members from that team. So you can go back on the archives and find them. Here's another one, though, I'm excited for. It's two-time series champion Sean Hingorani. The number 13 Central Coast Cabinets Fidelity Capital Toyota returns to the series after a one-year absence in 2025. Hingorani, the 23 and 24 series champ, has 7 career wins in 29 starts, including 2 at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway. Next came in April of 23 and October 24. So don't put all your money on one driver.
You've got 2 champions coming back here. All right, Nitro Motorsports will field 3 entries, 2 for full-timers Mia Lovell in the number 15 Pine Health Toyota and Julian DaCosta in the number 25 Austin Canvas and Awning Toyota, and one for part-time Jade Avedizian, the number 70 Mobile One Toyota. Avedizian started the 26 this year on a hot streak, winning a super late model feature and finishing 7th at the ASA Stars National Tour season opener at New Smyrna Speedway during the World Series of Asphalt. So some big names coming into Nitro Motorsports this year.
And also some new names, and I love that when we're talking about the rookies and young kids. Cook Racing Technologies, the 2023 ARCA Menards Series West Team Owners Champions, are going to field 2 entries. One for the 15-year-old Taylor Mayhew in the number 17 MMI Toyota, and Jaden Reyna in the number 42 MMI Chevrolet. Now, Mayhew is the son of 7-time series winner David Mayhew, while Reyna, the 2020 INEX Legends Car Young Lions National Champion, had 24 wins in 31 starts, making his series debut.
And from Jerry Pitts Racing, they're fielding 2 entries, one for the 26 Bounty Rookie of the Year, Eric Johnson Jr. in the number 5 Sherwin-Williams Toyota, and another for Gavin Ray, who will be driving the number 7 Component West Toyota. Johnson finished 5th in both Kern races in 25, and Ray finished 6th in the 25 season opener. So definitely looking forward to those Jerry Pitts cars running this season as well.
And Eric Johnson Jr. is another one. We have an interview that would be archived from last year. I know we've been in contact. Sharon's been in contact with him. Really busy schedule, so we're trying to fit him in again throughout this year. Hopefully we get to have that happen, because that was a great interview. All right, the Oil Workers 150, presented by West Coast Stock Car Motorsports Hall of Fame at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway. Again, set for 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on Saturday, February 28th. The race will be streamed live on Flow Racing, but you can also find live timing and scoring data, live race audio on arcaracing.com. And for up-to-the-minute updates, you can follow at ARCA_racing on X, which is formerly known as Twitter.
So we have a lot to look forward to there. We do have an entry list, as I mentioned earlier, with 22 entries on this list for Kern County, Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway. And let's go through, Jay, and just mention some of the people that we haven't already highlighted.
Well, the first one there is the number 4, and that's Eric Nascimento Jr., a very consistent, regular driver for the ARCA Series West, racing for their own team with Mike as his crew chief, Mike Nascimento as the crew chief.
And then we have to go down to the number 51. I don't recall saying anything about Jada Mack from Moreno Valley, California. She's going to be racing for the Jonathan Rayum, with John Rayum on top of her pit box in that number 51 Chevrolet.
And the second team car of the High Point Racing race car factory will be Andrew Chapman in the number 55, comes from Pasadena, California. Tim Huddleston listed as the owner there, along with Trevor's number 50, and it'll be Travis Thurkettle as the crew chief.
And Eric Reed in the number 66 Chevrolet will be racing this weekend as well. Chris Bray will be on top of his pit box, and it's a family-owned team. So looking forward to seeing Eric on track.
And another team car there, the Strike Mamba Racing with Jonathan Reume as the owner, will be Jalen Mack in the 72, and that'll have Al Liebert as the crew chief.
And the number 77, a Joe Nava Toyota, will have Alonso Salinas from Mexico City, Mexico behind the wheel. And Roger Bracken will be on top of his pit box.
And another one, regular in the West Series, Joey East from Madero, California. He's in that Mike Nocky Ford, number 88, Shockwave Marine Suspension and HR Mobile Services, always a weekly contender.
And in the number 00 is Toby Blanton from Venice, Florida. He'll be driving the Blanton-owned Chevrolet with John Kennedy on his pit box.
And then we went south of the border, got to go north as well. David Smith in the 05 Toyota, kind of a team partner to the Nocky with the sponsor of Shockwave Marine Suspension and Seating. So David Smith from Canada. So we got 3 countries covered there.
Yes, we do. I think this is going to be an exciting race. Everybody else, I think we've mentioned in our notes here, but there are so many storylines that you can read over at arcaracing.com. There's a feature on Hailie Deegan coming back. They've got one on Trevor Huddleston, and 2-time West Series champ Sean Hingorani is back. And you can get the 2026 ARCA schedule for all 3 series over there as well.
And I'll tell you this, Sharon, I'm not even going to ask you. I'm just going to tell you right now. Talked about odds-on favorites. You got to look at your defending champion, Trevor Huddleston, but mentioned having Sean Hingorani back. And then you got drivers like Robbie Keneally, Eric Johnson Jr. Keneally, I believe, picked up a win last year. Johnson looking for his first. Hailie Deegan returning. And then these young kids, we've seen that where these young kids come in. You know, Taylor Mayhew, obviously a racing family, could be interesting. This is another one. I don't think I'd be putting any money down on this one.
And I think some of these drivers that are coming back for their second season are going to be stronger contenders this year as well. So I think there's a lot to look forward to here in the ARCA West Series for that season opening race.
And you just mentioned McAnally coming back. They did take the year off as they focused on the Truck Series and up into the main ARCA Menards Series. I think that's great to see. Again, not forgetting their roots. Yeah, they did take that break, but that truly is. McAnally was the team of the West Series for many, many years. And I know, Sharon, you can name some of the drivers that have come through that organization that are now at the Cup level.
And, you know, they do field a couple of trucks now with McAnally Hilgerman Racing, which is pretty cool to see that expansion take place as well. So, boy, there's a lot to look forward to. Who's your favorite, Jay?
I say I kind of have to lean towards Trevor Huddleston, but we'll see if Sean Hingorani can pick up where he left off. But like I said, you mentioned it, these second-year ones that are coming in are really found their footing last year and were in the championship hunt, just didn't get it done. Robbie Keneally and Eric Johnson Jr., I think are going to be even stronger this year. The other thing, as we were talking about McAnally racing, Nitro Motorsports, you know, and now I'm drawing a blank. They bought out, who did they buy out in the ARCA Menards? The stalwart of the, thank you. Talking about the stalwarts of a series in these developmental, you know, Venturini was, and Nitro Motorsports bought them out and fielded I think 5 in the ARCA Menards Series. To see them also investing and developing in the West Series, I think is a huge thing, because that organizations like this, like McAnally, that are just so involved are what keep racing where it's at in this developmental. So a huge shout out to Nitro Motorsports.
Yes, indeed. And again, seeing so many teams involved in the ARCA West Series is a huge deal. So I am very excited. 22 cars on this entry list going into the first race of the season, I think bodes well for the entire season. And I can't wait to see how this plays out. You've got some really good drivers in the series this year, and we'll continue to watch it. Do watch for more coming from Fan for Racing. I'm working on a couple of previews we already have done with the our Truck Series racing at St. Petersburg for the first time this year, and the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series racing down at COTA. This was the Kern County Raceway preview. And after this, we'll be doing the preview for the NASCAR Cup Series, also racing at Circuit of the Americas, otherwise known as COTA, this weekend as well. 4 series, 3 tracks. There's a whole lot of racing going on this weekend, Jay.
It is, and we got to love it as we kick off the 2026 season again, the first race for the West Series. I know we get real excited when they pair up with the Cup Series at Phoenix, but this being the standalone opener, and we've gone through the names, man, I think it's going to be an exciting one. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for tuning in. We do appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to hear what we have to say. So that's your preview. The storylines are set. The stage is ready. And now we find out who's going to deliver this weekend. Be sure to join us after the race for the full breakdown and reaction on Monday night in our Hot Topic Sound Off conversation. This is where racing conversation lives, and we'll see you after the checkered flag.
All right. Take care.